Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, the 2020 Mr. Olympia was shaping up to be uh, one of the best, most competitive lineups in quite a long time. Even though there were some athletes that had to pull out for reasons for things out of their control, it still was a very good, very competitive Mr. Olympia. And we have a new Mr. Olympia that was crowned. Now, 2021 Olympia, I know it's quite a while away, but it's going to be a very exciting and competitive Olympia like this past one, maybe even more. Now, something I already think is a foregone conclusion that Rami will retain the title and very possibly will retain the title, but it's not a shoo-in. He nailed well, I wouldn't exactly say nailed the conditioning. He brought in really good conditioning along with his size. He earned the victory, but we've been waiting for him to do this for quite a while, and we don't know if it's a fluke. Can he replicate what he did or even improve on it? But push that to the side for a moment. There's going to be a stacked lineup once again. There's already buzz going around that we could very possibly see the return of a former Mr. Olympia who was basically made to relinquish the title, Sean Roden. Yeah, that's right. There's some buzz going around that we will see Sean back on the stage again. That in itself is exciting news. After all, he beat Phil Heath, and he was not allowed to defend his title. There's talk that Phil Heath is not finished. He's still thinking about making a return to the stage. Some think that, well, he did not have enough time to fully prepare. He's been out of the game almost 2 years before he stepped on stage again. 2 years since his last competition, but he wasn't in contest mode, and his actual preparation for the Olympia wasn't enough time. So there's talk about Phil Heath stepping back on stage again. Once again, there's buzz about Kai Green, and you never know. He's always looking like he's within striking distance of being in contest shape. So that makes it very interesting. And we will see Flex Lewis return. I don't think they're going to... I think he will be extended an invite once again, considering the fact that he had to pull out of the 2020 due to a shoulder issue which he had to address and get corrected. So I think under those circumstances, he's not going to have to qualify for the Olympia. He will be invited once again. Flex, as we were talking about leading up to the 2020, before he had to pull out, was a very dangerous competitor and had a good shot of winning. So right there, that's making the 2021 Mr. Olympia pretty intriguing. And we have the regular cast of athletes that are at the top that are in their own right very dangerous and very capable of winning this title. Brandon Curry, he's not finished. He did his job leading into the 2020 Mr. Olympia. He improved from the previous year. He ran to a roadblock with Big Ramy, but he made improvements, and he's consistently made improvements year after the year, the last few years. There's no reason to expect him not to make more improvements. Brings up his legs a little bit more, a little bigger, a little more size in the upper body, even a little better, sharper conditioning. He's still very, very dangerous. Hadi Chupan, his conditioning Friday night wasn't as good as it was Saturday night. If he would have brought that same conditioning to the pre-judging as he did to the finals, he did look a little bigger than he did last year. If he comes back this year now, for the 2021 Olympia, bringing conditioning like he always does, a few pounds bigger, he is still very, very capable of winning the title. You know, some people thought, well, actually a lot of people thought that he could have placed second this past Olympia. Some people would have even put him over Ramy because of the superior conditioning. William Bonac, another one. I don't think he's going to get any bigger or needs to put any more muscle on. He's got enough muscle for his frame. I don't think he can really hold much more. But he can definitely bring in little better conditioning. He too always brings in conditioning, but the conditioning can always be a little better, a little more detailed, a little more, a little deeper separation. William Bonac has all the tools to win the Olympia title. We got Akeem Williams now. He's somebody got to give consideration to. He placed sixth in his past Olympia, behind Bonac, who was fifth, and Heath, who was fourth. I personally think that, if anything, Heath should have been sixth, and Akeem Williams fifth. I would have switched those placings around. Now, Akeem Williams, in the last year and a half, 2 years, he's been working with Oscar Arden. He's been making improvements show after show. he brought his best package to date. He's a big man. He carries a lot of muscle. He's one of the few that can stand next to Rami and not be overpowered. He carries that much muscle. He'll have to qualify again. Only the top 5 placings automatically qualify, so he'll have to qualify again. But I don't see any problem with him doing that, and he doesn't have to come in bigger. He needs to just bring up a couple of things a little bit, a little tighter, harder conditioning. I'm not saying that he's ready, will be ready to take the title, but he can definitely be up there pushing everybody at the top. And got Ruli Winkler. Now, Ruli Winkler wouldn't be qualified. He would have to qualify again unless he's given possibly an invitation. He was one of the athletes that at the last minute had to pull out of the Olympia. He was in Turkey trying to travel from Turkey to the United States for the Olympia. He was tested positive for COVID, and he was not allowed to fly, so he could not make the Olympia. Considering that, is a very good possibility they might extend an invitation to Ruli. Ruli is another one that will not be out muscled by Rami. He might carry more muscle than Rami, and inch for inch, he definitely carries more muscle than Rami. And we saw some pictures of Ruli shortly before, I think it was about 2 weeks before the Olympia. And if you compare that to pictures of Ruli in the past, 2 weeks before the Olympia, he was looking to bring in possibly his best package to date. And it would have been very interesting seeing a highly conditioned Ruli on that stage in 2020. Unfortunately, we didn't. And if you add him to the mix for the 2021 Mr. Olympia, already it's the beginning of the year. We have almost I'm assuming that the Olympia will be held in December again. After all, they want to give the athletes a full year to prepare. Very, very early. We have a long way to go before the next Mr. Olympia, but already it looks like we're going to have a very, very good, stacked, competitive, and intriguing lineup. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.